Life will always test you when you least expect it. That was the lesson Arman learned one winter evening when everything he had worked for started to fall apart. Arman was known in his town as a hard-working dreamer. He grew up in a poor family, where every meal was earned with sweat and struggle. Yet, unlike many, Arman carried a fire inside him, an unshakable belief that one day, he would change his life. He had opened a small shop after years of saving, selling tools and daily-use items. For the first time, he felt like he was finally escaping poverty. But fate is never predictable. A fire broke out in the market one night, burning down almost every shop on that street, including Arman's. He stood there in the ashes the next morning, watching years of effort reduced to dust. People whispered behind his back. Some said, he was unlucky. Others said, he won't recover this time. The world seemed to agree on one thing: Arman was finished. And for a while, even he started to believe it. But deep inside, one question haunted him. If I give up now, what will remain of me? This was the first crack in his spirit, the moment where he could either stay broken or fight to stay unbroken. After the fire, Arman fell into silence. Days passed with him sitting at home, staring at nothing. Doubt grew louder in his mind. Maybe I was never meant to succeed. His relatives began suggesting that he take a simple job. At least you'll earn something stable, they said. Friends avoided him, afraid his misfortune might somehow rub off on them. Even his parents, who loved him dearly, looked at him with worried eyes. At night, Arman would replay his journey. He remembered the years of saving, the endless nights without sleep, the hope he carried like treasure. Now, it felt wasted. He thought of walking away, maybe moving to another city, maybe accepting an ordinary life. But one evening, while walking near the ruins of his shop, he noticed something. Among the ashes and burnt wood, there was a tiny green shoot, a plant pushing through the black soil. It had survived the fire. That small plant spoke louder to him than any human voice. It said, "If I can stand again after being burned, so can you." That night, Arman made a decision. He didn't know how, he didn't know when, but he would rebuild. The fire had burned his shop, but it hadn't destroyed his spirit. He chose to stay unbroken. Starting again wasn't easy. Arman had no money, no shop, and no one who truly believed in him. He began working as a daily laborer at construction sites. Every morning, he carried heavy bricks under the burning sun. His hands blistered, his back ached, but his mind stayed sharp. He saved every single coin he earned, eating only the simplest meals. Some laughed at him. From a shopkeeper to a laborer, what a fall, they sneered. But Arman ignored them. He kept telling himself, this is not my ending. This is my rebuilding. Months turned into a year. Arman slowly saved enough to rent a small corner stall in a crowded market. This time, instead of opening a big store, he started small, selling affordable tools and items people needed daily. He treated every customer with respect, remembering how it felt to lose everything. Word spread about his honesty, and soon people trusted him again. Still, the journey was far from smooth. Sometimes sales were low. Sometimes suppliers delayed goods. Sometimes he was tempted to quit. But each time, he remembered the green shoot. He whispered to himself, "Stay unbroken. Stay unbroken." His stall began growing. The same people who once mocked him now greeted him with admiration. He was not just rebuilding his business, he was rebuilding his life. One evening, a man came to Arman's stall looking for bulk supplies. He was starting a new construction project and needed a reliable supplier. Arman treated him kindly, offered fair prices, and delivered on time. That one deal opened doors. Soon, builders and contractors began contacting Arman regularly. His stall grew into a shop. His shop grew into a storehouse. Step by step, brick by brick, his dream was returning, only stronger this time. But with success came new challenges. Competitors tried to undercut him. Some spread false rumors. The pressure was real. Yet, Arman had learned from the fire. He no longer feared loss. He worked with honesty, stayed patient, and never compromised on integrity. His business became one of the most trusted suppliers in the area. People started telling his story as an example of resilience. Arman had gone from ashes to achievement. But more than money or success, what mattered to him most was this: he had proven to himself that he could stay unbroken. Years later, Arman stood outside his large storehouse, watching his workers load supplies onto trucks. His life was unrecognizable from the ashes he once stood in. A young man approached him one day and asked, "How did you survive when everything was gone?" Arman smiled and replied, "Because I decided not to break." Life can burn your plans, your money, even your hope. But as long as you choose to stay unbroken, nothing can truly defeat you. His journey was proof that resilience is more powerful than failure. Everyone faces hardship, loss of money, betrayal, sickness, disappointment. But the difference between those who give up and those who rise lies in one decision: the choice to stay unbroken. So, whenever life pushes you down, remember Arman's story. Remember the green shoot that grew after fire. Remember that strength is not about never falling, it's about rising again and again. Stay unbroken, and one day, your scars will become your strength, your failures will become your foundation, and your story will inspire others to rise too.